Memento Mori both sets itself up for success and failure before the game even begins by extension of being an idle RPG. This subgenre is notorious for possessing some of the most accessible, enjoyable gacha games. AFK Journey is a great example of this. Some might even label Nikke an idle game, yet simultaneously some of the worst gacha games. You can look at over a dozen on the Google Play Store. And while Memento Mori does a whole lot right, from its beautiful graphics, soundtrack, characters, its absolutely devastating pay to progress proves to be unsurpassable and unenjoyable even at the best of times. Hey, my name is Stix and welcome back to the worst gacha ever, a video series where I discuss a gacha and tell you guys what I thought in explicit detail as we attempt to find the worst gacha ever. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that little bell notification, that way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post every Sunday. Do not miss out. Now let's get talking, lest this game become a memento of good times past.
Where did I go wrong? I thought I was ready for this to happen, but... Hey, please, I beg you, save me.
You're introduced to the beautiful world of Memento Mori via a fantastic voiceover featuring several different characters that you'll attain access to relatively quickly. They walk you through how the world is in the state that it's in, and how it's your job to essentially heal it, area by area, town by town, city by city. As you do, not only do you solely gain access to new regions, but your ability to acquire increased rewards as part of the idle system grows. As this is an idle game, you earn a set currency. In Memento Mori, it's general XP, EXP orbs, 2-level characters, gold spent on a variety of different things, and kindling orbs, the main source of not only pay to progress but also pay to win, easily the single reason that this game turned out to not only be a complete disappointment to me, but also a failure as a game. For the first few days, I progressed very rapidly. Cleared chapters 1 through 5 with no wait time at all, just logged in, battled some enemies, leveled my units, freed some towns, logged off after doing dailies, logged in the next day and just did the same thing. However, as I reached the upper quadrants of single-digit chapters, I quickly realized I had hit a wall, a very hard wall. I had run out of currency to level up my characters, not EXP orbs. I had them in large quantities. What I'd run out of were kindling orbs. These were necessary for your characters to essentially ascend and were very, very finite. With my units at level 180, one unit at level 200, having been at chapter 14.5 for the last month, it requires 22,000 kindling orbs to ascend, and you get a few hundred per day if you're lucky. You can definitely circumvent this via events where you can earn thousands over the course of the event period, or you can spend money. Spending real money seems to be the easiest way to prevent hitting a wall, and if I had a few $100s to spend to ascend a character, I would, but this game doesn't deserve it. I'd already spent over $150 spread across 3 months to get to the point that I'm at, and I have deep regrets. I've never hit a point in any gacha game that requires I wait over a month to progress. I'm only at the beginning of chapter 14. This is only scratching the surface. Even in Nikke, that requires you to attain dupes of 5 characters to max out, doesn't gate you like this. It is absurd, asinine, absolutely unmistakably horrendous, existing with the sole purpose of all but forcing you to spend money to progress. And you want to because it's a beautiful game with even more beautiful characters. You can tell an enormous amount of effort was put into this game. It truly is a project of passion. Every character has their own combat style, their own appearance, their own unique voice actor, dubbed in every language, including English. They sound great. Clearly the vocal director knew exactly what they were doing and did an exceptional job. As an additive, and this is something normal, traditional gacha games don't do, every character has their own unique song associated with them. By simply clicking on a character's profile, you'll hear their unique melody play. I wish I could show you how incredible some of these sound, but for copyright purposes, that just isn't possible. They're also sung in each respective language, once again further proof of exactly how much effort has gone into producing what can only be described as one of the most beautiful gacha games available. Look at how stunning this game is. The painted pastel overworld, the stunning character models, not only in the character screens, but also when in combat. They're fully animated with fluid movement that you just wouldn't expect out of a game you realistically don't even play. Speaking of, the combat is completely auto. You're unable to contribute anything at all. Your characters, who are all female, attack enemies at regular intervals, and the enemies attack you in return. Every character has their own elemental affinity. The easiest way of describing this is utilizing Pokemon elements. Water beats fire, fire beats grass, grass beats earth, earth beats water, with light and dark being strong and weak against each other. Characters have their own unique weapon types, some utilizing great swords, others using guns, falling into one of several different class archetypes: warrior, mage, healer, etc. Every individual hero has different abilities, making them synergize differently with others, making it both difficult and imperative you have the correct characters to use them to their fullest potential, which is incredibly difficult given how scarce the more important, powerful units are. I'd say a lot of effort went into the combat, but they provide you the option of skipping combat in its entirety, never having to even watch a single animation play out. I do find this to be a fantastic quality of life improvement over the repetitious grind that this game is overcome with, and also a little bit lazy, since most people are going to completely overlook half of what makes this game so beautiful and fun to watch. And I use the term watch here due to the lack of playing that goes on. Characters possess a number of ways to increase their power: weapons and armor, both of which you can upgrade the levels of using a finite resource upgrade water. You can obtain seemingly infinite upgrade materials if you opt to spend real money, allowing for an endless ceiling of upgrade capacity. Gear has the option of being reforged using gold, allowing you to focus on essentially min-maxing your primary stat via gear, since different classes require different stats to excel. You can augment gear, which allows you to increase both their light and dark alignment, increasing the base stats and thus overall power. You can either use already augmented gear or vials. I'm sure you can guess how these can be attained. And finally, you can insert individual runes of individual levels and uses, such as attack runes, crit runes, debuff runes, HP runes. The higher the rune level, the more powerful it makes your gear, increasing your overall combat power, making it easier to overcome obstacles like I've hit. The main form of progression does not come from gear though, it comes from awakening. To awaken a character, you need to combine duplicate characters or characters of the same element. This allows you to reach the next stage of rarity: SR, SSR, SSR+, UR+, etc. Every major upgrade allows you to raise your level limit, and every major upgrade can take potentially weeks to achieve. It is obnoxiously bad. At level 200, you're required to, it seems, I haven't passed this point yet, but it seems as though it required the same unit upgraded to the same rarity to pass. Meaning if you have a limited character, you're going to need to get duplicates of them before the event ends, so you can level them using dupes of the same element before awakening them at level 200. It has taken me over 3 months to get this one single character to 200. I can't imagine how much longer it would take to get the same character to level 200 just so I can awaken them again. This can, as I'm sure you've no doubt guessed, become quite expensive and imposes significant limitations on who you can even use. I'd mostly easy to obtain characters because there was no way I was risking more, which might have admittedly contributed towards the hitting of the wall that I have evidently hit at chapter 14.5. Thank God there is a level link feature, although to make additional characters any type of useful, you'll still need to awaken them, meaning you're always running low on dupes and kindling orbs. Because even if you manage to finally get a character high enough level and rarity, there's no saying how long it'll take to acquire 20,000, 30,000 kindling orbs to upgrade a single unit one time. Horrendous game design, absolutely atrocious. The bulk of the game consists of navigating the world map via the main quest, engaging in boss battles as part of the main quest, utilizing the quick battle option to acquire 2 hours worth of rewards, with double rewards being received on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, and staring in disbelief at how long it'll take to make any real form of progress. Oh, and there are trials as well. The Cave of Space and Time, which is a set number of battles in succession, increasing in difficulty with each respective battle. You gain power-ups after each successful win as you progress towards the final battle of each respective floor, 3 in total. The Fountain of Prayers, which is this game's dispatch feature, allowing you to acquire a marginal amount of useful resources entirely free. The Battle League, PvP, or in this instance, AI vs AI, which will quickly show you how outclassed you really are, not in terms of skill, but in terms of financial bracket. There are going to be hundreds of people with significantly more money than you that absolutely decimate you. It's laughably bad how pay to win this game is. The Temple of Illusions, which typically requires a party to complete effectively, but is always empty, I'm not kidding. I rarely ever see a single person here with parties open. And the Tower of Infinity, an additional reminder of how inferior you are as a low spender. Not only is the Tower of Infinity already difficult for a team of upgraded heroes, individual element towers require you to combat enemies with significantly weaker units, which is why I've only really managed to conquer over floor 100 on water, because that is the only element I have a level 200 character of. There's a guild feature if you want to engage in pretend multiplayer, guild battles that I've never experienced because the guilds I'm part of are always dead, or the times never match up with when I'm playing. Guild raids, where you can fight an enemy by yourself. The grand battle and guild tree, neither of which are even available right now. Yeah. Concerning the gacha banners, I think it's kind of hit and miss. Pity for limited banners is 100, meaning you're guaranteed the banner character you want at 100 if you don't achieve them before 100, but pity resets every banner, thus doesn't carry over, meaning you need to hard push to pity to make use of it every new banner release. And if you can't afford it, then you're screwed. There's no saving up pity for future characters. The Invocation of Chance, one of the later unlocked banners, does have a pity that carries over, however. More recently, a gear banner was introduced, allowing you to do some pulls with gold or premium crystals. I wish I could say there was a story. If the intro made you think there would be, I do apologize. After they explain the world and your purpose to you, that is the last you will see of it. There's nothing more. I haven't had a single scene or story element in months. You just hear that's it. Okay, good luck. Even for an idle game, there should be some motivation behind playing it, other than how good the music or artwork is. There are plenty of login events and login rewards for playing each day, which provide you with some EXP orbs, kindling orbs, premium crystals, but not nearly enough where it'd ever warrant continuing to log in and play if it weren't for the creation of this video. Honestly, Memento Mori is a beautiful game with an outstanding soundtrack, but it's a game you just don't want to play because it doesn't really want you to. Now let's break down my rating. Content 2 out of 10. There's very little to do, and with the gating present, with what little there is to do, you're unable to really consume. Difficulty 10 out of 10. I've never been stuck for a month on a single mission. And this isn't even the first time. I got stuck repeatedly for days, weeks at a time prior to chapter 14. This feels impossible. Free to play friendliness, 1 out of 10. They do not care if you're not spending money. You will not have fun long term, and you will not be able to progress in any meaningful amount of time. Gameplay 5 out of 10. For an idle game, this is actually pretty good. Everything was beautiful. It sounded great. I loved watching things play out. The first few battles, and then I skipped everything else. Graphics 9 out of 10. I love the graphical style. The entire game felt like a painting. It's something that I've never seen, and I wish more games did. Sound 8 out of 10. The music in this game was phenomenal. One of the most diverse selections of music I've ever heard. Story 1 out of 10. The world is on the brink of ruin. Here, this is how you can help. Okay, thanks, bye. The story. Voice acting 7 out of 10. A lot of the English voices were really good, some not so much, but for a cast this large, it was pretty damn impressive. World 3 out of 10. I give it a 3 due to its aesthetic and slightly varied backgrounds. Otherwise, what world? Fun, 3 out of 10. I had an absolute blast for the first few days, and then it has been an abysmal experience since. Absolutely abhorrent. Overall, I'd give this 49 AFK waifus out of 100 angry time-gated gacha gamers, or 4.9 out of 10. This game had so much potential, but became an unplayable mess. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are gonna be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.